Everybody, thanks for joining me with Border City Rock Talk, where you get some great rock news, great interviews from great interviewees with a comedic touch. Today I've got one of the greatest rock singers in the before I forget, actually, sorry, Jack, I'm trying to think of, so what's the opposite of unsubscribe?
Subscribe.
Yeah, do what Jack says. Subscribe to my channel, Border City Rock Talk, so you don't miss these great interviews. I got another one tomorrow with Jack's familiar with Bill Leverty of Firehouse. Tomorrow, I said tomorrow. Anyways, how you doing, Jack?
I'm doing great, thank you.
You look a bit cold.
I'm all toasty, man. It's cold here in Denver.
Oh, you know what? It's so interesting in life how things work out. I found out, obviously you're in the mountain time zone. I've always had a romantic feeling towards certain states in your fine country, and the northwest corner, like Washington State, Oregon, but especially Colorado for one reason. The Colorado Rockies were a hockey team.
Yeah.
And Mork and Mindy, I think they based their show out of, was it Boulder?
I think you're right.
Right
Yeah. I mean, I lived in Los Angeles my whole life. I mean, I was born there.
Yeah.
I lived there till about 2 years ago. We moved out here, and it's quite a bit different, But there's a certain beauty with the mountains that you can't find anywhere else, and it's peaceful.
Rocky Mountain High, wasn't that John Denver song? Rocky Mountain
High, yep.
Yeah. And speaking of a great singer, before we talk about different things, obviously, what's happened in the last 2 years has affected everybody. What have you done to keep busy during the last couple of years, John?
Well, watch a lot of TV, man. A lot of TV, a lot of crime shows. There's so much that you can't do. You got to isolate, and I've got COVID once. My wife and I both got it. We just got over it about a week or so ago. Right. And we're still feeling bad from it. We don't have it, but it's just the after effects. I mean, really, they stick with you,
Yeah.
But, so I don't want to get it again. So
no, for sure. I don't. Yeah, it's quite interesting. Some people say you can get it again, but aside from that, what the heck was I just? Oh, true crime. I'm the same way, and I got to tell you something. I think you're going to be taken away from this. You're going to get off the interview and say, "Wow, that guy gave us some good information." Heather, I watch these true crime shows, like Dateline, 48 Hours.
Yep.
But if you go to YouTube, you can find 60 Minutes in Dateline Australia. So you're getting the same kind of investigating kind of a show, but with a touch of the Aussie lifestyle. You get the Australian kind of scenery, and it's really cool.
That's all right. That's cool.
So before we
we are. We're looking for the chap who killed this bloke.
Yeah, exactly. Put some more shrimp on the Barbie, mate.
Yeah.
One more quick thing before we start talking about music. How do you feel that all the canine owners banded together to name a specific breed of a dog after you, the Jack Russell?
I'm very flattered by that, actually. At first I took offense to it, but, the more I thought about it, I thought that was very flattering,
That's not the first time you've been asked that, I'm sure.
No.
Okay, so you guys are going to be doing some shows. I've seen you got a few scattered shows in the next couple of months, and I'm sure they're going to build up more. But last summer you released Great Zeppelin, a tribute to the Led Zeppelin, obviously. I got to tell you, when I listened to your original Great Zeppelin covers, my favorite one was "Babe, I'm Gonna Leave Ya." But I got to tell you, Jack, if you didn't make it in Great White, you could have traveled the world as a Robert Plant, kind of an Elvis impersonator. Your voice doesn't. There's no difference between you and Robert. So has Robert Plant ever reached out to you and said anything about that?
You know what? Yeah, he said at a dinner one time he was bagging on Coverdale. He was talking crap about Coverdale, saying how he's ripping him off, and he's trying to be him. And he goes, but you know what? That Jack Russell guy, he sounds more like me than I do.
And it's true. It's true. So
So that made me feel really good.
yeah,
I didn't know the guy knew who I was.
for sure. So kind of the big news coming up on the 20th is the release, the premiere. Well, you already seen the premiere, but the release of the Station Nightclub fire documentary on Reels.
Yeah, on Reels, it'll be out on Reels on the 20th.
Okay, so that's going to be the 19th anniversary, I believe, and it's called America's Deadliest Concert.
Yeah,
The guests.
20th anniversary.
Sorry?
20th anniversary.
20th. Okay,
Yeah.
I did. But the math up here in Canada is
Wait,
so
you're right. I'm sorry. You're right. It's the 19th. You're right. It is the 19th.
okay. So
Yeah, I'm the one that's screwed in the head here. Sorry.
no, it's all good.
Lead singer disorder.
Yeah. So you're drinking your coffee as well, right on. I'm a big coffee fan myself. So
You like my mug?
yeah, what about mine?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Hey, you want to see some baby pictures? No, I'm just joking.
It's Captain Jack, and it's got a little dog on there with a fin.
That's cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I actually collect coffee mugs, believe it or not. When you get older, hey Jack, you do these things. I got about 50 or 75 of them or something.
Right on.
You can have worse kind of hobbies and addictions than that, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
So it was about 5 years in the making for this documentary, roughly. Just tell the viewers that are obviously aware of that are aware of the fire, but not much about it. Basically, what the documentary kind of covers in a nutshell, without.
Well, the documentary talks about the fire, obviously, and what it was all about, and how it happened, and how it occurred, and the politics behind it, and how people felt about it and feel about it.
Mhm.
It was really done well. I have to say, it was done very, very beautiful cinematography. It was really well thought out. It was done with people in mind, and out of respect, and it was really, really dignified. I mean, it didn't come across one side or the other, or it was just very well balanced. And it talks about what happened in Rhode Island back in 2003, at the
Yeah.
nightclub, the station, and what happened to some of the people's lives afterwards, and
Yeah.
mine, and
Yeah.
some of the survivors, and it was it's a beautiful movie. It really is. It's some things are hard to watch.
Yeah.
The film
Well,
itself, I think, is very healing.
yeah, well, for sure, Jack. And our hearts go out to every single person that's been affected, including you, as you've carried a burden. We're human, so we're gonna carry the burden when we're involved in something that's happened so tragically at no fault of anybody's. And I was reading something that's really very true, especially of the legal profession. At the time, you were instructed really not to say anything. So a lot of people that were kind of wanting to judge, they thought, well, he's not remorseful, but they don't understand when your lawyer says if you say something, this could be used against us. So I mean, your hands were tied back then, and anybody with half a brain knows anybody within the band and was felt this is devastating. I'd like to say something, but my hands are tied.
Yeah, it was horrible. It was really hard to deal with. I mean, it was hard to keep your mouth shut about a lot of stuff, and what's that old saying? Anything you say can and will be used against you.
Yeah.
So you have to be really, really careful. And it's hard, and it's really sad. It's sad how the legal system works. But it's just there's no better system. So.
Right. Well, I mean, even in the title, the guest list, for people that will be watching it, just to let them know, the guest list was, apprised of people that you'd met throughout the day or the previous day before the show at, I think I read at Denny's or something, and they're like, hey, we're big fans of the show or the band. And so you say, okay, I'll put you on the guest list. And I mean, that's how your heart was kind. And for this to happen to everybody, it's pretty sad.
Yeah, very sad, very sad.
Have you, over the years, and if you know, I mean, you don't want to talk about this, that's fine. Over the years, has there been anybody that was affected by the fire that you've come to get to know over the years? Or
Well, a dear friend of mine named Scotty Dunbar. He was a survivor of the fire, and he's just a really dear friend of mine. We're really close. We've become very close over the years, and you know, he's just one of those great people. Very just a wonderful guy.
great.
And Heidi, of course, Heidi and AC. Heidi was my guitarist girlfriend, who was pregnant with his son when he died, and you know, I'm real close with them.
Wow. I don't want to talk very much more about this because I want everybody to see it on the 20th on Reels. And it's interesting. I think, what is it? This last month, there's like 3 documentaries that come out that I'm looking forward to seeing, like especially this one, but there's one by Triumph that finally came out. I think later on the line, a Rock and Roll Machine. I forget because they keep changing the names. And then just last week or 2 weeks ago, I was talking to Dee Snider, and there's one about the PRMC, the censorship documentary he's talking about. But speaking of Dee, he's interviewed in this documentary, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Dee has he's got a role in there. He's in the film, and you know, he helped out. He helped get a concert going with Troy Lucetta from Tesla to raise some money for the survivors and whatnot. And yeah, he's in there, and he's got a new song he wrote, and there's some of that in the movie as well, along with some of our music.
Speaking of that, which is a great segue, I don't know, we're syncing here. Has there been a song that I don't know of? I've followed Great White. My favorite album, I was telling someone the other day, can't get there from here. Is there a song in the Great White catalog that maybe I don't know about that was written about that incident?
There's a song I wrote on Back to the Rhythm called How Far Is Heaven.
Oh, wow. That's the last album you did with Mark and Michael, correct?
No, actually, that's the second to the last one.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
The last one I did was called Rising.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay, perfect. Okay, so let's segue. I want everybody to, so on Reels on the 20th, check out America's Deadliest Concert, the guest list. Have you, over the years, been in contact with Michael Lardy or Mark Kendall, or you know?
No, I haven't spoken to either one of those guys in 10 years at least. Okay,
I mean, you guys really made great music together, but I mean,
I know. It's sad. I wish we could speak. It's not because of me, put it that way.
Well, I mean, maybe this interview will tweak something, but you know what? I think as we go by, people don't realize that we go through a change of career, like, you know, not the entertainment industry, but general industry, every 3 to 5 years. So, I mean, for people to say, well, why don't they get back together and just put that aside for the fans? It's like anything else. Like, you have differences with a certain employer, and you move on to another job and employer. And it's probably a little bit similar in this situation of, you know, being in a band.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. You know, it is like that. And, you know, I know it's difficult right now to look down the path and see what's going to come up. You know, you never know what's going to happen. I never say never, because you know you never know what's going to happen. Right. But at this point, I don't see anything. I don't see a reunion in sight. Mm-hmm. Just because every time I read something that comes out of one of their mouths, it's derogatory. So, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes though that's at the fault of the journalists and the media, because I think it was Mark I was talking to, and he had mentioned something to the fact that he'd said something in the media, not regarding you, but about something else, and a certain major music interview publishee kind of twisted his words. So he says, you got to be very careful in what you say. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
So, okay,
Absolutely.
so you got and the biography, Dancing on the Edge. That's coming out soon.
Yeah, that's been changed to Between the Devil and the Deep Blue Sea.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the true story of Miss the Bone. It's,
And that's
it's coming out probably, and it'll be out this year sometime. Probably within the next. I'm hoping it'll be out by summer. We're about 2/3 of the way through right now, and with the manuscript, and we're just going over the last parts of it. It came out. It's coming out really, really good.
Really?
We're really excited about it.
You're working with Chips Enough's wife on that, correct?
Yeah. Kate's enough. Kate Catalina. Yeah.
Kate's Enough. Yeah. Okay, so you've got some shows coming up. Anything in the Canadian realm, or I mean, like right now?
Yeah, we do have in the summertime. We've got I know we've got a show booked in Canada. I just might need your help getting over there because I've got some blurbs on my record over here that I need to figure out how to get them squashed.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, we live right on the border. I'm in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, and you're familiar with Kuwaitan Casino and St. Ignace, Kuwaitan. There, you played a few years ago with Lita Ford and Slaughter, I believe. And
right.
I met you after the show, but I live right on the border in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, and our sister city is Sioux, Michigan. So yeah, I'll grab a canoe and I'll bring you over.
Cool.
Yeah. So. Well, I really like to thank you for your time, Jack, and I'm really looking forward to that. And and like you said, the healing is never ending, and our hearts go out to everybody involved. Your buddy Ty, and everybody. It's life, and we have to spiritually just move on day by day, and just try to be better every day. And yeah.
Yep. I appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem. So do you have anything to say to your Canadian fans out there before I let you? Oh, who's your favorite Canadian band of all time?
Triumph.
Really?
Well, actually, Killer Dwarves.
Yes, I'm friends with all the boys in the Killer Dwarfs, and they're one of my favorite Canadian bands. They're underrated for sure.
Oh, way underrated, man. Russ is great. Those guys are raw. Those guys are all awesome.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. Well, you take care of yourself, and I'll look forward to seeing you in Canada, and I'll start getting the canoe out of the garage.
Sounds good. All right. Dust you off.
Take care, Jack.
You too, brother.